where is all of the silver, and why are they charging such high premiums when spot price is so low? I mean, I don't get it. So you know what? I'm gonna go ask Phil.
Here at least, we still try to get silver, and we try to make it somewhere in the middle, what we call market value. We look at spot price, but we're gonna somebody walks in today, we're gonna pay much more than spot price when they sell their silver to us, because we're still trying to appease the buyer that they want to buy silver less than what they've been paying for it recently. So we try to come somewhere in the middle there.
Okay.
So, you know, that's where a lot of people realize that, hey, if we normally paid spot for silver, we're probably paying more when it drops this quickly for silver.
Okay.
And for the buyer, keep in mind that you're probably going to pay a little bit more than your normal markup for silver, because it's coming in much less, in terms of on a daily basis.
Right, because people are holding on to it.
Quantity's coming in much
Right.
less. So we try to, again, put two people together. But when we buy silver, we're looking at the point of, what are we going to offer it for sale for? We have to be competitive in the market for what the market bears at this point in time. So
Right.
there's a lot of dealers, and some of your viewers might say, well, my dealer didn't come off at all, and the price still the same price it was. And the reason for that is they're probably into it for a certain amount, and they're willing to hold on to that for until they can get the price that they want. I made some calls today that I had some people say, "What can you get me silver?" And I said, "I can get it, but
Right.
I'll make some calls." And the number I got from places that I could achieve it from is no different than what I could have gotten it for when silver was $17 an ounce. And these rapid drops in spot, I mean, I think we've discussed this before. Spot has to stay down for a period of time before you start really realizing that's the new market, that's the new baseline where you buy and sell from. These 1 or 2 day drops, or even when silver shoots up, you know, those types of markets don't last very long, and you have to come to a baseline where silver kind of settles in, and then you start having buying and selling, putting buyers and sellers back together. Um, so right now it's just a crazy market, and to me, um, I think it will quickly pass. Selling price is always going to be more relative to buy price than the spot price, in terms of, sometimes it all coincides and it all looks like it works. But if you're a big bullion dealer and you only deal in bullion, what you're invested. You kind of have a running amount that you have invested in silver. There's highs and lows, but whatever. But over time, you kind of realize what you have average in your silver that you're selling, and you try to get a little bit above that when you sell it. So I think that's why you don't see a lot of online dealers that are big in bullion dropping their price dramatically to meet the spot price, because their rolling number in silver, whether even though they might be able to buy it a little bit cheaper today, the rolling number isn't coming down fast enough to meet where you think silver should be able to be bought from.
Okay.
And so they're keeping their price at a level where they're still making a slight profit, but as they're buying lower and lower and lower, if they're able to buy lower, that they'll eventually reduce their price to the point where it looks more
Comparable to spot price.
where it should be compared to where a spot price is. And that's why I say spot price is an indication of the market that people are technically willing to buy and sell silver for, but it doesn't. When silver's physically changing hands, it's a much slower process. If I had to really pick a number out of the air, I still feel comfortable at 16.50 an ounce.
Okay.
That's, to me, is a number, even though we see it, the number $3-4 lower than that. To me, silver still has intrinsically that value associated with it. It's just, it's just that it's taken a hit, and for whatever reason, and there's multiple reasons people can point to, but at the same time, I still think that silver is valued. What I see it probably being bought and sold at would be in a number, and everybody, and legitimate dealers' heads is probably 16. You know, I wouldn't mind paying 14.50 to $15 an ounce right now, but sell it for 15.50. But
Okay.
and it still seems like a good buy for the 15.50 because
Right.
nobody's bought it for that cheap in a long time.
Right.
But it seems $3 or $4 above spot. But keep in mind that if I'm paying $2.50 to $3 over spot just to get it, to make the seller feel comfortable with the market and make the buyer feel comfortable with the market.
Well, that makes
You
a
know,
lot of sense.
if anybody can find silver at $12.85 an ounce, you know, $9.99, then I would say it's a good buy.
Well,
You know, when I say $16 an ounce is probably a number that in my head is where silver probably is
Right.
probably at in terms
Yeah.
of the market, where you could conceivably buy and sell it that make everybody happy. I think that's probably a number where we're at. You know, Y spot is at 12 something or 13 something. It's reasons beyond, you know, really one explanation. I think it's a multitude of things, but I think people should be comfortable in their silver right now if they're in it at $15, $16. I think they're, or even 17. I think they're fine. I don't think there's any rush to worry that silver's going to go down to 8. And even
Right.
if it did, I still would be saying the same thing. It's not a frantic time to go out and try to recover any lost monies in silver and, you know, get rid of it and never touch it again.
Right.
I still think it's a solid investment.
So buy
So I
it.
think the economic situation right now, even though it appears to be fairly bad, and if you look at the stock market and look at silver and gold, you look just about every indicator, um, it it points to the fact of, yeah, it looks like an economic downturn, but we know why.
Right.
And I think that's in the back of everybody's head that's watching this happen. You have to keep in mind that we can turn it off, but we can also turn it back on. Believe me, when it turns back on, it's
Oh, yeah.
oh my God,
It's going to take off.
it's
'cause
going to take off,
right.
and it's going to go to all kinds of great. You know, when this is past us, and I don't know what the time frame would be, but it's just a matter of weathering it out. You
Right.
know, it's not. I don't believe it's years. You know, it's probably months.
Right.
But at the same time, when you turn that back on, it's gonna go fast. Everything's gonna go up, and it's gonna go up very quickly.
Well, let
If
me-
we funnel the resources into, and I know it takes more time and effort to do this, but if you have resources to give out, funneling them into the places most desperately needed is going to do the best good, rather than just try to do a blanket.
Right.
You know, and maybe that's the easiest way to do it, and maybe there'll be ways to donate or put your check into a fund that would help more people that actually are in need of it than people that really truly don't need it.
Right.
Or
Well-
can do without, get by without. Let's put it that way. It's not
Right.
that they don't need it. It's, you know, they're willing to sacrifice a little bit more to give it to somebody that truly needs it. My opinion is, I was surprised to see silver in the 12s. I don't think it's going to go under 12. We might have it linger in the 12s for a while. Gold, to me, looked like it picked up a little bit today. That doesn't mean it. I think it'll stay in the high 14s, mid 15, mid 15 range for a while, maybe a few months. But like you say, when you turn the engine back on, be careful because.
Nobody can predict that because it's really never. It's unprecedented, basically.
No, I think we'll see probably gold linger in the high 14s, low 15s for now, and silver. I'm really surprised when I look and see it still in the 12s. I think there's. My opinion is that it should probably, based on everything else, probably be more in the $13, $14 range right now. So I don't see it going much below where it is today in the 12s. It
but-
just, as bad as things are or appear to be, I just don't think that that's a reasonable amount to say that that's the silver value. Like I say, it's not a. It's not about. It's a value of the spot price. You know, world spot price supposedly puts a value on silver, but I think in the marketplace, silver's valued a little bit more. So there's a big discrepancy at this point. If you can't find it, then sit on the sidelines and continue to buy. When it gets back up to where it was, and you were happy buying it where it was, start buying it again. I mean, buy it when you feel comfortable. It's a good time to buy. I still think that. If it dips and you're able to get it at a dip price, certainly that's good. If it goes up and you feel uncomfortable about paying that amount for silver, then stop buying, for a short period of time. And if it stays up, start buying again because, blips happen both ways; they go up and down. So, if right now, if you can't find any, don't feel bad. You can't buy it. Just like if it goes up and you decide not to buy it because it's too high, it's the same. You're still not buying silver either way. So, if you can, if it's down right now and you're able to find it, then go ahead and buy it if you feel comfortable with the price. If it goes up and you feel comfortable with the price, continue to buy it. I just, to me, to accumulate enough silver where you don't care about what the end price is, that's the
Well,
goal.
that's my goal.
Yeah. I mean, that's the goal, is that you can go to a back room and pick up as much silver as you need for that day or that week and whatever, and sell it, and do what you want to do with it, regardless of whether you've got $18 an ounce in it and you're getting 16 at the time, or you've got 18 and you're getting 36 at a time. It's just how much you have to grab. It is a savings. I mean, there's other savings that you can do. You can put it in the market, you can put it in real estate, you can put it in collectibles, you can do anything you want with your money, but it doesn't mean it's going to hold its value. It doesn't mean it might go up, might go down. Same with the bullion market. I mean, there's no guarantee one way or the other. So it's simply another type of way to store money. When you go to use it, it might be higher than the amount you have in it. Might be a little bit lower, but it's still a reasonable asset that you can change into money if you need it. And if you've got enough and you don't care what you're selling it for at the time, then that's even better. So.
So that's excellent advice. I appreciate that, Phil. And I would shake your hand, but we're not supposed to do that right now. So let's follow what they say.
All right, so there you have it. A lot of good information there. Phil is he's a treasure, really. He is. I mean, for a bullion dealer, he's very open, very honest about his practices, how he does business there, and he really does not have to be that way. I mean, he lets you in on a lot of things that a lot of bullion dealers would probably not share. A lot of that is his opinion, of course. You guys know that. A lot of that's his opinion. He's been doing this for a long time. He's seen the market up and down and every kind of way you can imagine. So his opinion and his advice is very valuable to me. So anyway, just let that play and let you guys hear a lot of what he said. I mean, the video would have probably went 20 minutes if I'd have tried to add any commentary in there. So anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. And we'll just try to keep this silver train rolling. Keep stacking. Peace.